You got three types of people in the world. You got cutters, you got burners, you got pickers. I'm a cutter. I used to cut myself, and you know, it used to make me feel better. And my basement was all white, so when I would cut myself, I would write the things down in my own blood that bothered me. So when you turn the red lights on and you shut the regular lights off, all that red blood turns black.
You know, it didn't matter, like, you know, how you looked or anything. You know, it was just a matter of, you know, whether you wrote a good song or not.
What do we sound like? We sound like Black Sabbath meets the Beatles rehearsing drunk on a haunted factory.
Music had substance at that point.
You know, cherry pie. I mean, you know, suck my dick.
Or like while Bloody Kisses was being written, and exposed Peter to a lot of it. And I think it did definitely have a creative impact on like songs like Black Number One. Manager was like, Motley Crue asked you to go out. You were like, what are you, crazy?
How is this gonna work?
At us. How are we gonna be? No way, no way. He says, do it.
It'll be good for you guys. You guys should definitely do it.
And that's it.
Reluctantly, we did, and that's what put us on the map.
Yeah, we went from selling 50 albums a week to selling 2,000 albums a week. I'm like, in 1 week.
When I had found out that the Bloody Kisses went gold, I'm like, this is like a nation of deaf people. I'm like, I didn't take the band seriously. I mean, we would call ourselves assholes before you did, but we really meant it. And I would come in and say, I can't believe you fucking jerk-offs are actually paying to fucking see this.
They were working on the Motley Crue record, and then, like, you know, while they were hanging out, whatever, they had a copy of Bloody Kisses and liked it.
Yeah, they liked it.
So when the time came for them to go on the road, they were like, we want this band to come out with us.
And there was a few shows that I called people up on stage, and I gave them their money back, and I threw them out. I said, you fucking asshole, and I'm calling your mother, and I would call their mother up on stage. Do you know where your fucking son is right now? Kids today, I don't know. Well, definition of a sellout is compromising values to make a profit. I can do carpentry, you know, welding, electrical work, and stuff like that. So that's my plan B. If you don't have a trade, you're gonna be pretty much fucked, because you know bands don't last forever. A lot of headlining bands force their opening bands to match their merchandise prices. Sometimes shirts and hats used to get lost, and there was like negative numbers involved. You know, when you lost like 4 shirts. Had bands offer to pay to play for typo, like, well, their record company would approach ours, and of course our record company, because that would go towards recouping the album. I wouldn't have it. If it doesn't upset your parents, it's not rock music. You know, so rock music is all about rebellion. When I was in Carnivore, I had intentionally written songs like Jesus Hitler, God is Dead. I mean, I attacked left-wing people, right-wing people.
That's what music's for. That's what art's for. They can have you hear or see something that you may not want to look at. That's a good reminder.
That's rock. You know, rock is taking those primal feelings and amplifying them to 150 fucking decibels and saying fuck you to the world.
One of them is Carnivore.
We had to think of something that hasn't been done before, reflects the band's image, is cost-effective, transportable, and non-flammable. We used to throw meat out on stage. That was our big thing. What became harder was the pressure to perform. Like, this is not like, back in the 60s where a band had no stage show. I mean, now production is like 2/3 of the show. I mean, there are 2 things that people should never look into, and that is what goes into the workings of record companies and what goes into the making of sausages. You don't want to know.
Mid-level bands, okay, are having a hard time scrounging out a living. Now, mid-level, I'm talking maybe bands that sell, 400, 300,000, 400,000 records, what's going to motivate them to take out, oh, there's a new rock band, I like them, let's just take them out and break them, like Motley Crue did with us.
I had tried numerous times to try to get Empire Hideous on tour.
He wanted me to showcase an event.
I was trying to help him on a ground level by, trying to book shows with him and stuff.
He would bring, a representative from the label to see the band, get signed, go on tour.
It is stated in record company contracts that fulfilling the contract meant that the band had to tour, but the record company also had say in the opening bands.
We needed to get on a label in order to do a tour with a major band like Typo, and we had no label.
I wanted to have Mike's band be given an opportunity to be signed. I do recall seeing Empire Hideous, and I'm pretty sure I did bring Monty Connor down.
Like tending to my wounds, and Peter's apologizing to me because the guy who he brought there to sign me so that I could go on tour with him left.
Even if we wanted to help them, A, we can't pay them a lot of money to do it. And now the next thing is, does Empire Hideous have the means to actually travel around the country and be able to afford to do it? Probably not.
They wanted to put their own bands on there.
So now Empire Hideous is out of a record deal.
So my hands were tied.
Well, in America, the kids do what the advertising and what the record companies, they like what they tell them to like, what's popular. Europeans ain't like that. They don't like something, they don't like fuck you.
Hey, you, with the fucking middle finger up. Hey, you, jerk off, turn the fucking lights on so everybody can see this guy. Your middle finger is the exact same length as your mother's uterus. Hi, Mom.
I remember, when I finished high school, and it was like, all right, do I go to college? And I was like, no, it'll get in the way of rock and roll.
If I had one wish, I wish that I had a zipper from my crotch to my neck that I could just zip down and step out of my skin. Everybody always, expects you to be Peter Steele, like all of us here in this room. We all have, 20 different sides. Like the side that I show on stage is maybe two or three sides of me. People come crawling out of the woodworks and you told me you didn't fuck her, and well, I lied. I mean, I try to explain to my girlfriend that any creature born with testicles is a born liar, and I have 4 testicles, but I may be lying. What got easier was finding women, and what got harder was my penis.